Perfect. All right, and let me grab the chat again. Awesome. All right. Eleanor says, LOL, yes. All right, so as you guys are getting logged on, as we go through the webinar, feel free to ask questions. I love interacting with you guys. I like, talking and going through ideas. If you have like concerns that come up, or if I'm not clear on something, or if you have questions, feel free to ask during the webinar. You will not throw me off at all. I like interacting with you guys. That's why I do these live webinars. So welcome to 5 Secrets of a 5-Figure Mompreneur. My name is Allison Hardy, and I'm pumped to be here with you guys today. I love this webinar, and I'm so excited for it. So I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about myself so you kind of know where I'm coming from. This is me and my little family. My husband is named Tier, and yes, Tier, like a beer with a T. He has a unique name. He gets that a lot. He's a pastor in the United Methodist Church. We recently moved from Chesapeake, Virginia, which is like right outside of Virginia Beach in coastal Virginia, back up to Northern Virginia, which is where we now live. We live in Arlington. And we did that 2.5 weeks ago. It seems like it was an eternity ago, but 2.5 weeks ago. So my little family is getting settled and reacquainted with the Northern Virginia life. It's very different from coastal Virginia life, and I missed it, I have to say. As much as I loved living near the beach, I missed the hustle and bustle of the city. So I'm happy to be back. We live, we can see the Washington Monument, which is really pretty cool, in DC, like down the street from our house. So it's pretty cool. It's a cool location. And this is my little guy, Camden James. He is a handful. He's 3, almost 4 in a month. And that's our life right now. And it's fun and crazy and insane. So it's a good time. But I should probably tell you guys a little bit about, my journey, just so you kind of know where I'm coming from as I talk about this information today. So my kind of entrepreneurial journey starts when I was 6 months pregnant. And when I was 6 months pregnant, I got laid off from what I thought was my dream job. I was teaching college level art. I had done that for 10 years. I went to school for 7.5 years to get a terminal degree. And, I did all the right things. I got the job. I was working my way up. And at the end of the day, though, I was on the chopping block. So I got laid off. And in that moment, I really realized how I really never wanted my income to be dependent on anyone else. I got really, really crystal clear in that. And I realized how much my identity was kind of wrapped up in that job. And when I lost that job, when it was taken away from me, I didn't know who I was anymore. I had a really kind of big crisis moment, and I was 6 months pregnant, and then I had Camden, and life was just really, really scary during that time for us. Financially, emotionally, mentally, it was a really rough time for us. So it was during that time, I had this fledgling part-time personal training business. I've always been really active. I ran college level track. I competed at the national level. So fitness has always been a really big part of me and a part of my life. So it was during that time when I realized maybe it's my time to take this part-time little side hustle I do and make it full-time. Maybe it's time to make it fun, and maybe it's time to really see what I can do with it. So in the time between when I got laid off and when Camden was born, I raised my business from part-time hobby status, and I replaced my 9-to-5 income. But I'm very proud of that, but I did it in all the wrong ways. I worked 16-hour days. I canceled on my friends when we would have appointments or meetings or girls' nights. I hardly ever saw my husband. Tira would bring me a bowl of soup downstairs, and I would eat it and stay there all night long. So what happened was I created this culture around my business where I had to be in my business 24/7. If I didn't work my business one day, it would suffer. And as much as that's a bad business model. It doesn't work for anybody. So I kept working at that really strenuous pace until December 2015. And it was the beginning of the month. I was completely burnt out. I had pneumonia from working constantly. I had 2 broken ribs from coughing so hard that I actually cracked my own ribs from being sick. And I was at my wit's end. My business had slowly been declining, and it finally had hit rock bottom. I remember I had to pay Camden's tuition bill for preschool, which was at the church that my husband pastored at. And we needed to go buy groceries. And so I logged onto the baking site, and we had $15 in our bank account. And I was like, holy crap, what am I doing? Like, why am I at this place? And it's because I had been working from this place of lack. I had been so afraid to spend money in my business. I had been so afraid to do anything out of the box that I became my own worst enemy, and I couldn't get out of my own way. So it was in that day where I had to go to my son's preschool, ask for an extension for the tuition. The pastor's wife comes in and asks for an extension for the tuition. Like, that's a problem. And I then went online and bought a high-end business coach. I charged the entire thing on a credit card, and because we had no cash, we were living paycheck to paycheck, and not even paycheck to paycheck. We weren't making ends meet. And we just didn't have the money. So I put on a credit card, and no, that does not make any sense, and started working with a high-end business coach. On that same day, I made the decision that my business I was never going to put my business or myself or my family in those sort of situation ever again. So ever since then, I've been building my business on my own terms. I do not work every single day anymore. I work at the most 6 hours, and that works for me. And ever since then, my business has been consistently growing. And in 2017, I've made 5 figures every single month. And it's as much as it is about the money, it's not about the money. Money is a tool, right? Money is a way that we can bless other people, and it's a way that we can make a big impact, and it's a way that we can do phenomenal things in our businesses and in our lives and in the world. So for me, earning a certain amount of money is really important, because that means I can give it back, and I can circle it back out into the world and make an impact on other people's lives. So it's important to make money in our businesses, yes, because we need to pay our bills, but it's also really important in our businesses to be conscious of, the rest of the world and how the rest of the world is living and doing and functioning. So that's one of the motivators behind my business, is really being missional and giving and doing big things for other people. So that's where I'm coming from. I thought I'd share that with you guys a little bit before I dive into the content for today. So let's get on with it, shall we? Secret number 1, how can I make money today? And this is one of the best things I ask myself every single day. How can I make money today? What this does is it reframes your lack mindset. And the lack mindset are thoughts that run through your mind that are like, I'll never be able to afford that. Who am I to do that? Like, that's not something that's in the budget. That's not, I can't afford that. Like, things like that. That's a lack mindset. That's the lack kind of mindset coming through you verbally. And as an entrepreneur, you cannot be in a lack mindset. The opportunities are endless for you as an entrepreneur. And your business can do big, crazy things, but you just have to reframe the way you think about things. You really do. And you have to do things that maybe aren't exactly normal, right? I applied for I hired a high-end business coach on the same day where I had to ask for an extension for my son's tuition. Like, that's embarrassing. And that doesn't make any sense. But it's because of that decision it's literally because of that decision I'm sitting here with you guys today. So you have to reframe your lack mindset. So what making money does every single day is it gets clients in the door. This could be a $20 tripwire. It doesn't matter what it is. $20 to some people might be a really big deal other than other people. Like, you don't know how hard your clients work for their money. You eventually figure it out, right? After working with them. But even if someone's buying a $20 tripwire from you, that's $20. Like, that's money that they had to work to earn, and they're now giving it to you. And that's a big deal. So you're turning people every single day from fans into clients. And especially if they maybe were a cold audience. So let's say you're running a Facebook ad to a cold audience and people are buying your tripwire. That's a phenomenal feat. Like, think about that. Like, you've never met this person before. You presented them something and they bought it from you. Like, that's kind of amazing. So it gets people in the door. They become fans of you because they buy from you. And then if they're brand new, they're going to follow you and they're going to learn more about you and they're going to stalk you a little bit online. And that's good. That's a good thing. That's what you want. So I asked myself a series of questions to really kind of figure out how I can make money today. And I was going to go through those questions with you. So what action do I need to take to get money in my bank account? So I'm a big fan of setting intentions, which are really important, and then putting action items on them, right? So putting and making sure that you are doing the work to get those goals that you want, to hit those goals that you want, and to surpass those goals that you want. So do you need to get people on the phone? Do you need to pitch your list? Do you need to pitch your Facebook group? Do you need to get more people in your Facebook group? What does that look like for you? What sort of action items do you need to take? It also, you need to figure out how that looks for you. So do you need a live stream in someone else's group? Do you need to promote a free live event that you're hosting in the near future on all of your social media outlets? Do you need to run a Facebook ad? Like, what sort of action do you need to take in order to get to that goal and to get people in the door? So another question you could ask yourself are, what are your business goals for the month? Right? So like in the beginning of the month, we set our goals, right? Everybody does this at the beginning of the month. And the thing that we forget, I think, throughout the month is that you need to take action every single day in order to get those goals. So let's say your goal is to book 3 one-on-one clients every month. So what does that look like? Like, where do your clients come from? Do they come from your Facebook group? Do they come from your Facebook ads? Where do they come from? And then you do that over and over and over again. Do you need to upsell maybe someone who's in a group program into a one-on-one program? Like, how do your clients come to you? So go back to your business goals for the month and make sure that you're taking the action to get there. Yes, you need to set your intentions, but you also need to put some action behind it. All right, so how I do this, how I make sure that I meet my goals every single month is fairly simple, but it really works for me because it's a very public way of setting my goals, and my family holds me accountable. So I have a whiteboard in my office, and my office is in our now basement. You can see. It's a little dark in here, but my whiteboard is up on the wall. I write on my whiteboard every single day. So every single day I map something out. I'm writing out ideas. I'm writing out goals. I'm writing out to-do lists. I'm writing out, maybe my newest funnel, like they're going to go through this funnel. And then from here, based on their actions, they're going to go to this funnel. And then this is going to bring them there. Like, what does that look like for me? So I write on my whiteboard every single day. And my family has learned that I do this. So every single person in my family, my husband and my 3-year-old son, knows that those are mommy's or my wife's business goals. And I keep pointing over here because it's right in front of me. So my husband will ask me questions. How close are you to achieving that goal? My son will remark about if I like add something or take something off or putting in a new color. So it's constantly this like dialogue in my household of my business goals and how that's going to affect not only my business, but also my family and the causes that we give to. Like, what will this goal get us and get the world and get my business? Like, what results will come from this goal? So it's a very public way of setting goals. And my family holds me accountable. It's also like right in front of me. So I see it every single day when I sit down. It recently fell off the wall and broke into a couple pieces. So new one's on the way. But, it's a very in my face kind of way of setting goals. And it really helps me to stay focused because I sit here and look at it every single day. So I put it in a place where not only does my family see it, but I see it every single day. And I think there's something really powerful about writing your goals out and really putting them up there and seeing them every single day. I also want you to celebrate every single victory, no matter how small it is. The other day I celebrated that my son actually took a nap. He's 4 almost, and so he's getting rid of his nap. I still want him to take naps because he's such a better person in the evenings. But I celebrated that, yay, my son took a nap. The other day I celebrated that I had a Facebook ad converting at 30 cents an email address, which is phenomenal. And I was super pumped about that. I celebrated that I booked a one-on-one client. I celebrated that I didn't work more than 4 hours in a day and felt really accomplished at the end of the day. You need to celebrate every single thing because, again, it reframes your lack mindset. And celebrating doesn't have to be like going out and having a 10-course dinner. It can be just like saying, I knocked it out of the park today. and being totally okay with that. So celebrate, acknowledge every single good thing that happens in your life. All right. So I wanted to kind of like reverse engineer some things for you guys and break down like how I make sure that my passive income products help me to hit the goals that I establish for myself every single month. So I have a passive income product called the Facebook Live Intensive. It's my best self-study course I have. I love it. It's my favorite course I have. I love writing it. I love everything about this course. So the course is $197. So I sell this course through a funnel. What it is the back end, kind of like in the background of my business product that's going on constantly. I don't really have big launches for it. I don't talk about it a whole bunch, because what I use it for is to get people on my list from a cold audience. And I use it to upsell people. So when you get in on the Facebook Live Intensive, it's a relatively low cost, $197. And then from there, you get funneled into a series of emails that promote my one-on-one program, which is much higher end and much higher priced. So I use it to kind of get people in the door and then upsell them. So how I run this and how I make sure that I set my goals every single month and that I hit those goals every single month is this way. So I have an opt-in that is really, really, really specific and solves a problem that someone who would want to buy my passive course would need solving. So my opt-in is a checklist that you can take or do or go through or whatever before, during, and after every single Facebook Live to get conversions and engagement, because that's what you want from Facebook Live, right? You want to maximize your results. So engagement plays to Facebook's algorithm, conversions gets you clients, right? So from there, I have a tripwire that enhances the user's experience with the opt-in. It's $27. So the standard conversion rate there is 1 to 3%. My conversion rate is 50%. And that's a pretty significant statistic. So for every 6 people that go through my funnel, I have 3 people buy this tripwire from me. So a little bit less than $60 comes into my bank account for every 6 people that go through my funnel. That's awesome. That's a really good conversion rate. And it helps me to really keep my Facebook ads going, quite honestly. It really helps me in that area. I funnel all that money back into Facebook ads, and it's great. So from there, they get a series of 9 emails that develop the know, like, and trust factor. So I share my story. I talk about how I applied for what I told you guys in the beginning, how I had to ask for an extension for my son's tuition, and how I applied for a business coach in the same day and put it on a credit card and all that. You share your story. Your story is really, really powerful. And I hear a lot of people say, well, I don't have a really big story. Yes, you do. Everyone has a big story. Every single person in here has a story. So share that. So you develop know, like, and trust factor that way. The last 3 emails I pitch in, my conversion rate, or a standard conversion rate, is 1 to 3%. Mine is around 10%. So for every 10 people that go through the funnel, 1 of them buys. And that's pretty awesome. $200, almost $200 in my bank account for every 10 people that goes through the course, or that goes through the funnel. And that's good. I'm fine with that. So I know those because I've tested my funnel. I know that because I've gone through, I've looked at my stats, I've looked at my subject lines, I've looked at my content, and I tweak and adjust it until it's gotten to this point. Now that it's at this point, I kind of, quite honestly, I've taken a little bit of backseat from it, and I'm just kind of letting it go and seeing how it performs. So, and this is a funnel that I send to a cold audience. So these are Facebook ads geared towards different audiences. So like, I target Marie Forleo's audience a lot. I target Gina DeVee. I target entrepreneurship. I target, who's someone else I target? What's the one that works really well for me? Oh, Shalene Johnson. Oddly enough, that one works really well for me. So that's kind of how I hit my goals every single month with passive income. So I know I need to get this amount of people into my funnel, and I'll probably make this amount of money. So that helps me to really make sure I hit my goals every single month. Am I making sense, guys? Could someone give me a thumbs up or a woohoo in the comments? All right. So yes. Okay, thanks, Terry. Thanks, Miguel. Thanks, guys. Okay. You guys are quiet. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask, okay? All right, so the second thing I wanted to go over quickly with you guys is my high-end program. So along with my passive products, I want to talk about how I book one-on-one clients. Can you tell us again whose audiences you target? Yes, Terry, awesome question. Marie Forleo, Gina DeVee, Entrepreneurship, and Shalene Johnson. I think those are the 4 I named. Does that mean you target people like those pages? Yes, ma'am. You got it. Yep. So I split test. What I do is I'll have the same ad, the exact same ad, same image, same copy, everything. And let's say I have 4 of those, 4 audiences I want to test. I'll send that ad. Woo! I will send that ad. Let's see. There we go. Now we're muted. I will send that ad to the same exact ad, same image to those audiences. And that's the only one I'm targeting in those ads. So I'm split testing. So I can see, oh, Shalene Johnson's audience is really responding to this. Marie Forleo, not so much today. Maybe I should turn that off. That might be a waste of my money. Does that make sense, Terry? Cool. Okay. Yes. Perfect. Okay. So let's talk about my one-on-one program. So my high-end one-on-one program is $10,000. So a much higher end program, a program that is a significant chunk of change to invest in, right? So again, this is all done through Facebook ads. So this is how I automate my one-on-one program every single month. So again, an opt-in that is super specific and solves a problem that my ideal client has. One of my best for this program is I have a business plan like audit form. So it's a pretty epic workbook. It's about 20 pages. And it kind of goes through your business. You can audit it, see what's working, see what's not. It really kind of helps you work through that. So it's a document that someone who has an existing business and wants more from their business would probably be interested in downloading. And that's the type of woman I work with. So from there, I have a tripwire that's a webinar recording on funnels that I sell for $47. My conversion rate is right around 3%. So I know for every 100 people that goes through the funnel, 3 of them are probably going to purchase that webinar recording. From there, they get a series of 18 emails, which is a lot of emails to write, that develop, again, the know, like, and trust factor. And this one, instead of pitching at the end, I pitch a call throughout the funnel. So they're pretty used to being pitched to. Like I'm training them essentially to be used to getting pitched to from me. And that it really helps unsubscribes stay down. So if they're like used to me being pitched, if they're used to being pitched to, the unsubscribes usually stay down, which is kind of a better thing. And then I pitch a call. I do a hard sell in the last 3 emails. So the last 3 emails are like, hey, book a call with me. Hey, book a call with me. Hey, book a call with me. You know you need this. You've stuck with me for this long. It's been 18 emails. Like, obviously you're interested in what I have to say, right? So from there, the conversion rate is right around 5%. And that's the phone calls, not the booking of the program. So that conversion rate for every 100 people that go through it, about 5 of them actually book a call with me, which I'm super happy with, because once I get people on the phone, they know me pretty well. Like if they have booked a call with me, odds are they're probably going to buy with me. So from there, I convert around 75% of those calls, which is I'm super happy with that, because I'm getting really qualified people on the phone. It really helps. So this funnel is sent to my warm audience. So these are like people who have been to my site, they're on my mailing list, or they like my Facebook page. Because it's my theory that as great as everyone needs my one-on-one program, I'm a strong believer in my one-on-one program. I know it's my best product. If you're just meeting me, probably not going to drop 10 grand on me, right? If it's a cold audience, they're like the $10,000 program is probably not going to be something that they, invest in initially. So once someone buys my Facebook Live intensive, I then send them through this funnel. So they're clients already, and then I can upsell them. So Miguel says, I may have missed the explanation earlier. I've never heard the term tripwire before with business. Oh yeah, can you explain what that means? Okay, so tripwire it's a product that enhances the user's experience with the opt-in. So the opt-in is your freebie. The tripwire, what happens is they go to your landing page for the opt-in. They put in their name, they put in their email address, and they hit submit. From there, they get redirected to a page that's hosted on your site. And it says, thank you, your freebies and your email. However, there's this really awesome thing you might be interested in. It's only available for the next 15 minutes. That's your tripwire. So it's a product that enhances the user's experience with the opt-in. So it really explains, why they need it. And it's a limited time offer. So there is a scarcity factor there. Yeah, and Miguel, you've probably seen them somewhere along the lines, I would argue. Cool. All right, good. Glad that's clear now. All right. Let me take a drink real quick. Secret number 2, develop a rock solid money mindset. And guys, my money mindset was terrible. When I first started my business, like I told you guys this earlier, I was stuck in this lack mindset. I was so scared to do anything in my business that it made me really into this crazy, fearful person. It was not a good time. So develop a rock solid money mindset. What this does is it identifies the ways that you hold yourself back. And this is really important because we can be our own worst enemies. We can be the ones who have all these excuses and listen to them. We can believe the stories in our head. We can really get in the way of our own selves and of our successes. And a lot of times it's fear coming through. It just manifests itself in lots of different ways. So the stories I used to tell myself, and these are things that I would say either out loud or in my head. And guys, if you find yourself saying really negative things, or if you find yourself saying these types of things, either to other people or in your head, these are powerful, and you really need to start reframing how you think about things. So when someone would go to Disney World, or they would buy themselves a nice pair of shoes or a new dress or a really sweet house, I would say, oh, must be nice. I would never actually achieve that. If someone would say I just want to go away on a weekend, do a getaway and go to the Bahamas, I would say things like, who am I? I don't do things like that. That's never something I will ever be able to afford. Things like that. And I would also identify rich people do this and poor people do this. Those things would come out of my mouth. And that's a terrible way of thinking about things. Number one, it's really diminishing those people's hard work, right? You don't know what they've done to get to the point where they are. You don't know how much they've sacrificed. You don't know how much they've really invested in themselves. You don't know those backstories. So by saying these things about them, it's cutting them down. It's not fair. It's also really putting this idea in your head that you're never going to be able to achieve certain things in your life, because that's 100% not true. And if anything, your business is perfectly capable of achieving these things for you and with you. So just be leery of what you actually say in your head. It's a big deal. I also have stopped harping on money. I don't check my bank account daily. I'm a nitpicker and I'm a micromanager, and that doesn't work in a marriage, right? So I used to log onto the bank account every single day and analyze our transactions. And that's not healthy. That's not a great way to live your life. You guys have a budget, just stay within the budget. Maybe check the bank account once a week. We don't need to constantly be harping on how much money we don't have or how much money we do have. Now, I spend my hard-earned money on things that make me feel good every single month. So instead of, focusing on what I don't have, instead of focusing on bills and expenses, I make a point to spend money on things every single month that make me feel good, because I and we, us, everyone, need to associate money with positive things, right? So I bought myself a Massage Envy membership. I have this crazy pinched nerve in my neck, and sometimes it tightens up, sends sharp pains down through my fingertips, and it's really obnoxious. So I was DIYing solutions to relax my neck muscles, and that doesn't work, right? I'm not a masseuse. So my Massage Envy membership every single month allows me to get one massage, and it comes automatically out of my bank account. I have a standing appointment, and I don't have to worry about it. So that serves me, and it serves my pain point that I have, and it works for me. I get a manicure and pedicure every single month. These are not expensive manicures and pedicures. They're time really for me just to chill out, because I'm a fairly high energy person. I go to a higher end hair salon. If anyone has short hair and needs a haircut like I do, you know how much of a big deal your hair is, right? I love getting my hair cut. So I go to a higher end salon. I go once a month, and I know how much it's going to cost, and we budget for it. It's pretty much how it is. I go on ice cream dates with my family, and I date my husband once a week. So my husband dates and our ice cream dates are not crazy expensive. We're not having, like 10-course meals. We could if we wanted to, but we don't. It might be a date to Chipotle or a date to the movies, and we get like popcorn for dinner, like things like that. Like, it's really important to spend your money on within a budget, of course, but also on things that make you feel good, because you need to associate those positive feelings with spending money. All right. We also give to causes we feel passionate about. So I have a sponsored child I sponsor through World Vision. We give to our church, and we give to the American Cancer Society. I had a cousin who died when we were both 12 from childhood cancer. It was a very long, drawn out thing. And so American Cancer Society, I feel strongly about that. So those are 3 things that I feel really strongly about. And when I give to them, I feel really good, and it makes me feel good. So again, associating good things, good feelings with my money. I also say affirmations. So I used to resent paying my bills. I used to hate paying my bills. I would dread it. I would put it off. And that's not a healthy way. So every single time I pay my bills, I say, thank you, God, for the ability to pay my bills and to provide for my family. Because for a long time, we couldn't pay our bills. And there was all these negative feelings around paying bills. So every single time I pay for my bills, I say that. When a client doesn't enroll with me, I say, you did all that you could to help that client. It's just not our time to work together. There are more clients out there. And that's really important, because I find that, as you're getting no's, which is going to happen in your business, you're going to get no's. I got no's for 3 months straight last summer. It can be hard, and it can be really defeating, and it can be really degrading, but it's really important that we stay open to receiving more clients, because it's that moment when you shut it off that you're not going to get those clients. And when a client pays me, I say there's more where that came from, because that's an awesome feeling, right? So affirmations have been a really big part of my business in ways that I've really kind of reframed the way I think about things. And again, celebrate every single thing that comes into your business and flows out of your business. Celebrate it. It's really, really important. Something I do every quarter is re-examine my expenses. So during launches, I'm launching a group program called Rise right now. During launches, I usually purchase apps or systems that make my launch easier. So after this launch, when the month ends, I will re-examine if I still need those services. And it's kind of, quite honestly, through launches that I've really discovered some tools in my business. My last launch, I discovered Zapier. I don't know if you guys have Zapier, but it's this awesome third-party thing that can hook all these different things together. It can do PayPal to a ConvertKit tag to a sequencing ConvertKit to a Kajabi course. It's awesome. It's really cool. So that's how I found Kajabi, and I use it all the time in my business. So if it makes my life easier, I'm probably going to keep it. Let's be honest. All right. Secret number 3. This is my top 3 list. So what this does for me, everyone's top 3, I should say this before I go into this. Everyone's top 3 has a different function. So I'm going to talk about mine, which is consistency and visibility. Caroline, it's Zapier, Zapier. It's $25 a month. Yeah, it's awesome. Maria, you got it. There you go. It's an awesome app. I highly recommend it. It saved me so much heartache. So everyone's top 3 list is different. Everyone's is for a different function. So mine is for consistency and visibility, because those are kind of the 2 things that, we can all relate. We're moms, right? Most of us are moms. And your kid not taking a nap can really throw you off, right? I do the nap time hustle. I know a lot of us do. And Camden right now is getting rid of his nap. So I'm losing that time. So what my top 3 list does, it helps me to be consistent and visible. So these are things that I absolutely have to do every single day in my business, or else I don't get to go to bed at night. I know that seems harsh, but it's true. These are things that I do every single day that are non-negotiables in my business. So number 1 is post in my Facebook group at least twice a day. The second thing is post on my social media outlets at least once a day, Instagram and Facebook. And then the third thing is interact in someone else's group, which develops relationships. So I'm not trying to pitch people in other people's groups. I'm not trying to, make a sale. What I'm trying to do is develop relationships, because we buy from people because of the relationships we have, right? We don't buy from, usually we don't buy from a perfect stranger, right? So what this does is it helps me develop relationships with potential clients, with potential colleagues, with collaborators, maybe with Facebook group members to get people in my Facebook group, with potential podcast guests. I have a podcast that I love, and maybe podcasts to be on. You never know. Like, the relationships that you develop can be really impactful. You never know how they could, develop and what relationship could go from there. My, best business colleagues are probably people I've met from other people's Facebook groups. And it's because, I spend a couple minutes every day in some of my favorite Facebook groups. So I highly recommend you guys establish a top 3 list to really function, like to serve one area of your business and make it a non-negotiable for you every single day. Outsource is secret number 4. And I'll be honest, it took me way too long to outsource because I was scared. I did not have great experiences outsourcing early on in my business. I launched a group program back in January, and in the middle of it, I had to fire my VA that I had hired for the launch, which was rough, which was super rough. So I have not had great outsourcing experience, but I have some tricks and some ideas for you guys to make outsourcing a little bit easier. So the function of outsourcing allows me to only do the things in my business that I absolutely need to do, which then keeps my creativity high. I hate nitty-gritty details. I like that talking about them in other people's business. I don't like them in my own. It drives me crazy. So like right now I have a VA who is doing all the onboarding for my group program, Rise. That's all she's doing for the entire month. And it makes me so happy that I don't have to do that. So outsource things that you don't like to do. So if your goal is to make a bigger impact, then you need to be doing the things in your business that only you can do. It's the quickest way to scale and grow your business. And does not have to be expensive. I'm proof of that. And quite honestly, it can be pretty liberating because finally there's someone else in your business who's offering you support. Like their goal is to make you happy. So you sure as heck better believe they're going to do everything they can to make you happy, right? So you keep hiring them. So it's a pretty awesome experience once you guys do outsource. It also allows you to step into the role of a CEO. And if you guys want to grow and scale your business, like I think most of you do, you need to be in the role of a CEO. You need to look at your business from the point of view of a CEO instead of someone who just owns a business that she operates in her basement, right? So look at your business as a CEO. So when I outsource, it's because of 2 things. Number 1, it's sucking my time. It's a time suck, or I don't love doing it. Those are kind of the 2 motivators. How much do I pay your VA? Is it okay to ask? How did you find her? Hold on for 1 minute, Caroline. We're there. We're almost there. All right. So I have a podcast. I hired my podcast editor because editing my podcast takes so much time sometimes. Like we're talking like 3 hours sometimes for a 30-minute episode. And it made me into a crazy person. And if I'm only working 4 hours a day, essentially I'm losing an entire day editing one podcast episode. So I pay her $80 an episode, which I'm totally fine with doing. I usually have 4 episodes that go live a month, and I usually outsource 2 or 3 to her. So I'm still editing one episode a month. I do like to do it. Like it's not that I don't like to do it. It's just a big time suck. So my VA charges anywhere between $200 to $800 a month. She's project based. So a lot of VAs work differently. It just depends on, how her business is set up. So I have my VA working on projects. So like this month, she's helping me with my group program. Next month, I think she's probably going to be helping me with my podcast because that's kind of suffering right now. So it just depends on like what I need from her and how much time I need from her. And she sends me a bill the first of the month and I pay it. And then she does the project throughout the month. My copywriter is $250 per sales page. And y'all, if you have not hired a copywriter, you need to. I never really believed in copywriters until I actually hired one and saw the magic that they can create. My copywriter is amazing. And the sales page that she writes, the sales pages that she writes for me would not be anywhere where they are if it wasn't for her, quite honestly. They're amazing. And I contribute that to getting sales, quite honestly. The graphic designer I work with is $250 per workbook. So I have her design all of my passive product workbooks. So all of my courses, the Facebook Live Intensive, for example, is one of those. So she designs all of my workbooks. And they just look better, guys. And as far as I'm concerned, appearances are pretty important, especially in the online space, especially if someone's paying money for things. So she does a much better job than I ever could. Let's put it that way. So $250 per workbook. Inexpensive work that is project-based, Fiverr and Upwork. Those are two sites, two resources for you guys. I've hired people off of Fiverr to like design an ebook for me, or Upwork to like do the same thing. You know, you can find people really doing almost anything on these sites, and they'll do them for relatively inexpensive cost. Longer partnerships, onlinejobs.ph. So this is a Filipino site. There's a huge like market in the Philippines for virtual assistants. So onlinejobs.ph is really a great location or a great place to find these people who work in this way. And Filipino hourly work is a whole heck of a lot less than like American hourly work. So that's an idea for you guys. I know a couple of people who use that site. Or hire someone that comes highly recommended or that you know. So my VA, I told you guys I had a personal training business. We met back then. We met like 3 years ago. And we've been friends, you know, online friends ever since. She and I kind of left our personal training businesses and moved on to other things. She became a virtual assistant. I became a business strategist. And, you know, I know her. I know, like, and trust her. I know about her family. I know, you know, her motivators. I know all of that about her. I know her goals for her business. And so when I needed to hire a VA, she came right to my mind because I know, like, and trust her. And I know she does good work. Like, I've seen her in her business for a while now. And so I hired her. So I hope that helps, Caroline. Do not hire someone because they are expensive. I told you guys back in January I had to fire a VA in the middle of a launch. It's because I hired her because she was inexpensive. The worst motivator ever. You get what you pay for. So if your VA is charging maybe a little of, you know, a little bit more than maybe you're comfortable with, I would argue that's a good thing. It's like she's going to back up her hourly rate with her work. So don't cheap out on that. All right, mastermind sisters, there's secret number 5. So the function is camaraderie, accountability, and support. So this is not business coaching, and I want to be perfectly clear in that. Y'all, I'm assuming if you're on this call, if you're on this webinar, you know that business coaching is like paramount in your business. So that's why I didn't even include it on this webinar. If you want to scale and grow your business, you quite honestly are probably not like at that point to do that yet. A business coach will get you there. But mastermind sisters are different from a business coach. So these are women who are on the same level as you. They maybe have a similar business as you. They have similar life situations. They have similar pain points. They are women that you can go to with your gripes. Maybe you're totally sucking it up in the Facebook ads, or maybe you just can't seem to convert any clients for some reason. There are women that you can go to with your victories. So yeah, you booked a client. There are women you can go to with your struggles. Their job is not really to coach you. Just have to show you guys what mompreneur life looks like. Eleanor, you're funny. Their job is not to coach you. Their function is to look at Eleanor with her little girls. That is a perfect example of mompreneur life. Yes. They're there to support you. They're there to call you out on the stories that you tell yourself. They're there to be your friend. They aren't invested in your business. They're invested in you, and they want to help you. They want to make sure that you are better. They want to make sure that you are taken care of, and they want to support you as the individual. So it's really important that you find, this bestie or a group of women that you can just bounce ideas off of, because for many of us, we have these online businesses. It can get lonely. Yes, you can work with your business coach, but it's not the same. It's not the same as having someone who's in it with you, who's grinding every day or just cannot seem to get their funnels working, and you guys can help one another. And I have a group of mastermind sisters that I work with that I met from a group coaching program. And, we did a group coaching program back in, I guess it was February 2016. It was like 4 months long. And then we took a break, and then we all decided, not all of us, the ones who continued with their businesses and who were really growing their businesses, we all decided to enroll in this mastermind program with the exact same coach. I worked with Sarah King, simplysarahking.com is her website. And, I worked with her all of 2016. And through working with her, I found this kind of like tribe of women that I really kind of lean on. They really help me in my business. And we have like every other week we have a call, we Facebook message people or each other, we'll send each other voice messages. It's a really great way to kind of just stay connected with people, because as like the head of a Facebook group, as the head of your business, it can be lonely sometimes. So like really finding those women to lean on, I think is really, really imperative. And I contribute my success to those women because they've always been there for me. That's really important. All right, so the content is over. I do have a special offer for you guys. So if you want to hang around for the special offer, I would love to tell you about it. I'm super excited about it. But if you don't want to, content is over. Thank you so much for attending. I will send out a replay once this is over and it renders. So you can look for that in your email. But here's a special offer I have for you guys. So this is for you if you want more from your business, if you want more impact, you want more freedom, you want more income. This is for you if you don't want to feel like you have to work every single day in order to keep your business afloat. This is for you if you want to develop a hardy passive income stream that actually provides significantly for your family. And I'm extremely passionate about passive income. I think passive income is the key to scaling your business. You don't have the luxury of hustling and working 12-hour workdays. We're all moms, right? We don't have 12 hours straight of work. We have maybe like 30 minutes and then 20 minutes and then maybe an hour and then maybe they take a nap. Eleanor is a perfect example of that image she just showed us. And you don't have the luxury of hustling. You can't pull all-nighters. You can't stay up till midnight every night. You don't want and you can't do that because you have kids and families and husbands and spouses and all of that. So you don't have the luxury of hustling and 12-hour workdays. And you want to impact the world and your own family in big, crazy ways. So this is my client, Gemma James, and Gemma is awesome. Gemma says she booked 5 clients in the first 6 weeks of working with me. Allison is an absolute genius in what she does, and she's so spot on at picking out the bits of your business that you are struggling with and helping you to discover what adjustments need to be made in order to achieve the results that you want. So during our time together, Gemma and I are still working together, quite honestly, just to be completely transparent. Gemma has increased her income 5 times. She signed her first ever coaching client, and I think it was the first week of working together, not to mention the 5 clients that she's booked in the 6 weeks we've been together, which is amazing. She grew her Facebook group by 150 women, and she's being sought after for guest expert presentations by other fempreneurs, and that's her language, fempreneurs, that's what she says. So Gemma has had amazing results since starting our time together. She did not book a single client for 18 months prior to working with one another. And she truly has hit it out of the ballpark, and I'm so honored to be working with her. I see a question here. Jennifer says, question about the passive income focus. Do you think that this is a chicken or an egg thing? In other words, I feel I can start with both one-on-one and passive income. Some coaches don't feel it's doable or that you should. Yeah, Jennifer, that's a phenomenal question. So it kind of depends on what you want. So I'll tell you how my business is kind of structured and then give you a couple of scenarios. So I have those two funnels I was telling you about in the beginning, the one for my one-on-one clients. Yeah, the one for my one-on-one program, and then the one for my passive self-study course, right? So that's something that's continually running in the background of my business. I have Facebook ads running to it all the time. I'll promote it every now and then, like maybe once a month. But that's really how, I get clients in the door, is through those two funnels. It's how I really get the most of my income. So you can do that through, that's passive and active. That's one-on-one and passive programs. So I don't think you have to do one or the other. Like when I first started out, my coach just had me doing one-on-one because it was the quickest and easiest way for me to get money in the door, right? So you don't have to have anything prepared. You don't have to, have like a course laid out. It's one-on-one. So you kind of, learn as you go, right? So like all you need is a sales page, and then you need to book some calls. And then from there you convert clients, right? So that's, a lot of people I know think that. And then from there, once you get those kind of going, you get some money into your business, you can develop passive income. But Jennifer, it would depend on you for, your, like what you're capable of doing. Like, do you actually want to get on the phone with one-on-one clients all the time? Do you want to just develop passive income? Like, what do you want? So give me that. I don't even know if you're on here anymore. I think you are. Oh yeah. Okay. There you are. So that might, let me know that answer, and then we can go from there. Good question though. Such a good question. Okay, I'll tell you guys about Christian, and I'll come back to Jennifer. So Christian Scott is an ACE certified personal trainer and health coach. So when I found out she was a personal trainer and she wanted to work with me, I was like, sweet, having the personal training background really got me excited. So the biggest takeaway I have from working with Allison was how to focus on the things that really mattered in my business. I often found myself overwhelmed with the need to do a ton of tasks, when in reality, I just needed to focus on the parts of my business that mattered the most. Allison helped me to identify those important tasks when I was able to gain confidence in my business to go outside of my comfort zone and make my business grow. And I cannot wait to share with you guys the things that she has grown her business into. So during our time together, Christian fully booked her one-on-one personal training program, which makes me so happy. She also realized her lifelong dream of owning her own fitness studio, and now is in her own brick and mortar studio. So talk about some serious growth, right? She started to expand into the online space with her health coaching programs. And she rebranded her business to be more in line with who she is and what she has to offer. And like this image is the perfect example of Christian. She's kind of quirky, she's silly, she's goofy, but she's also like totally knows her stuff. So that is Christian, and she's awesome. Jennifer says, awesome, on group coaching and programs to be more of my main focus, and one-on-one coach is a third option. Yeah, that makes perfect sense, Jennifer. Yeah, and one-on-one, like I really like one-on-one programs, but there's like a bandwidth problem with one-on-one programs. Like you can only serve a certain amount of clients every month, so kind of your income's kind of capped every month, which is why one-on-one programs are the price they are, because that has to serve that area. So yeah, I mean, group coaching, I love group coaching programs. They're by far my favorite program to run. But it's a great way to get a lot of people in the door and some cash into your business. But yeah, I could see you having group coaching and courses as being like the main focus. You just need the numbers at that point. So when you're launching, you would just need a list build. And then one-on-one, what you could do is your one-on-one program, you could offer it as an upsell to your group coaching and to your e-courses or your self-study courses, whatever you're going to call them. So that might be a great way to do that. Cool. Yeah, I agree. Like you have a busy life with 3 teens and a family. Yeah, it can be hard to, offer one-on-one services. So maybe yeah, exactly, Jennifer. So maybe you just, upsell one client a month in one-on-one, and that kind of fills that void for you. I like one-on-one, but it's a lot sometimes. All right. So if that's for you, if you want these types of results, if you want to grow and scale your business, if you want to bring your business to the next level, if you want more, then I want to introduce you to Rise. And Rise is my 16-week group coaching program for the mompreneur who wants more from her business. And this is the theme of Rise, is more. You want more income, you want more impact, We want more freedom. And I keep going back to this word of more during this launch for Rise. So topics included. I'm not going to go through every single topic that we cover because it's a fairly extensive program, but I wanted to highlight a couple of the really important topics I feel are really important for the foundation of your business. So automating huge portions of your business. So a story about automating for you guys and why it's so incredibly important. So I told you guys I moved 2.5 weeks ago. So that's 2 years ago. 2.5 weeks ago. I've had this launch planned since January. Like, I've known that this launch was going to happen in July. And we didn't know we were moving until April. So fairly sudden, hey, you're going to move type of thing. And I, like, leading up to this launch, I was like, I have to automate things. Like, I have to make sure that this launch is successful in what I deem as successful, and that my business doesn't suffer because of my move. So I automated huge portions of this launch. I automated probably 70%. And it's been a really great, quite honestly, experiment in how to automate. Like, I've learned a ton from this. So automation, I think, is really important in your business. And I think that every single person, especially mompreneurs, should have huge portions of their business automated so that you can only do the things that you have to do in your business. How to build a team and what to outsource. So team building and outsourcing is crucial if you want to scale your business. You cannot do every single thing in your business, and you're not good at doing every single thing in your business. So we're going to talk about how to build a team and what to outsource. We're going to talk about how to use sales funnels for passive income. I touched on that a little bit with you guys, but sales funnels and passive income, I think, are the gateway to scaling your business. I think it's the quickest and, quite honestly, the easiest way to scale your business. Once you have a really good product and once you have a really good funnel, there's no reason why that shouldn't perform for you. So we're going to go over techniques and strategies for Facebook ads without spending a fortune. I know that's a big pain point for a lot of people is, I spent like $500 on a Facebook ad and I didn't get a single thing from it. So, like, what does that look like for you? And I know a lot of you came into this webinar through a Facebook ad. And that was super intentionally done because I wanted to prove to you guys that you can do that without spending a fortune. I had about 120 people register for the webinar. I spent about $100. And so that works for me. That's awesome. Developing a content calendar that converts. So you can create content calendars all day long. You could have the best information, but if it's not converting, if it's not leading to sales calls, if it's not leading to people buying your e-course or your self-study course, there's no point. So we're going to go over how to create content that actually gets eyes on it, gets engagement, and gets conversions. And we're also going to talk about tried and true strategies to create engagement and visibility without spending tons and tons and tons of hours on Facebook every day. I spend about an hour on Facebook every day. That's me checking with my own Facebook group. That's me checking in with any group programs I have going on. It's me, like, posting on my own professional page and, like, going into other people's groups. So, like, you don't need to be spending a ton of time. You really don't. And we're going to talk about those strategies. So I see some comments in here. Oh, Carolyn says my phone is literally exploding. I'd love to talk with you. Yes, Carolyn, I can do that. I will do that. All right. So also some benefits of Rise. So these are two benefits that you get with the program. These are built into the program. Every single person who enrolls in the program gets these two things. And these are things I'm actually really excited about. So one is a 30-minute mindset coaching session with Jessie Harris Butin of the Infinity Wellness Project. Jessie is the definition of a mompreneur. She's pregnant with baby number 4. And she is a kind of like a wellness coach. So she has a personal training certification. But the reason why I say wellness is because she's really invested in making you fabulous, quite honestly, making you the person that you want to be, and helping you to step into that role. And so you'll get a 30-minute mindset coaching session with her, and that's a value of $250. And then you're also going to get an opt-in designed. Once we figure out what your opt-in is and you create the content, you're going to send it off to Kimberly Costa of Delightfully Designing. She is my personal story brand artist that I use. So she designs all of my workbooks for my self-study courses, and she's awesome, and she's super quick, which is even better. So you're going to get your opt-in designed by her, which is really exciting. So, and again, that's another $250 value. So both of these things are worth $500. And I'm super excited to be able to offer these things to you guys as a part of this program. And this week's bonus that expires on Friday. So a little bit about the launch. Every single week, there's been an expiring bonus. So this week's expiring bonus is 2 45-minute business strategy coaching calls with me, designed to get you some laser-focused coaching in areas of your business that you need additional support in. So these calls can be used before the program starts. These calls can be used after the program starts. You can just hold on to them and use them whenever you want during the run of the course. It's really, they're up to you whenever you want to use them. And so they are valued at $1,000. So $1,000 value that you can get when you enroll by Friday. And that's a bonus that expires on Friday, just to be clear on that. And to anyone from this webinar who enrolls in Rise, you will also receive access to my favorite and best-selling self-study course, the Facebook Live Intensive. And I love this course. It's my favorite. This is my 6-module self-study course that will teach you every single thing you need to know to create an engagement firestorm, which leads to easy conversions through Facebook Live broadcasts. And I think Facebook Live is an extremely powerful tool. So we're definitely going to be talking about it during the course, during Rise. But when you enroll from this webinar, all of y'all who are watching this, you'll get access to that program for free. So that's a $197 value. So you can learn more by going to AllisonHardy.com/Facebook Live Intensive. And I'll include this all in the email I'm going to send you guys in a little bit. So you can either screenshot this, jot it down really quickly, or just wait for the email to come through. So if you feel like you want this program, if you feel like you need this program to move your business forward, you can go ahead and enroll through AllisonHardy.com/rise. You know, for the longest time in my business, I sat on investing in a business coach and investing in a business coaching program. I really did myself a huge disservice. So if you know that you're ready to make a change, if you know that you want more from your business, and this program sounds right, exactly like what you want, I would love to welcome you into the program today. You can go to AllisonHardy.com/rise to learn more about the program, and you can enroll directly from the sales page. If you need a little bit more support and you want to talk a little bit more about the program, just to make sure it's right for you, you can schedule a clarity call with me. So you can do, it's a bit.ly clarity, it's a bit.ly link. So bit.ly/rise clarity call. That will give you access to my calendar. You can go ahead and schedule a call with me, I think as early as tomorrow. And we can talk about if the program is right for you and, you know, like what you need support in, just to make sure it's right for you. But, you know, I just want to say that this program, the reason why I created it was because I saw a void in the market. I see programs, group programs for like very early on, like, hey, you want a business, this is how you create one. I see ones for women who are like making 6 figures. But I don't see anything for anyone in between. And that's who I love to work with. I like to work with women who are making, you know, you have fairly consistent income coming in, and that's well and good, but you want more. And I work with women who really acknowledge that they want more, who realize like, yes, I do want to do this. I do want to bring my business to the next level. And I want this, I'm going to make this work. Like I'm going to provide significantly for my family. And so if that's you, this program is for you. And I want to leave you with this quote. This is by Nelson Mandela. And I think he was a phenomenal person. But I really love this quote. May your choices reflect your hopes and not your fears. And that really speaks to me because I was there for so long. You know, I was living in a place of fear. I was living in a place of lack, and it really affected my business. So guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for, you know, your awesome questions. I love chatting with you guys. And, you know, thank you for hanging in. Thanks for registering for it. I'm very grateful for each and every one of you. So thank you for everything. I will send this. You're welcome, Jennifer. You're welcome, Layla. I will send this out in a replay once YouTube allows me to let it render. They've been having problems this morning, so hopefully it's working. And then I'll send you all of the links, all of the information. But remember, if you enroll by Friday, when you enroll by Friday, you snag those 2 45-minute calls with me that are valued at $1,000. and you get access to the Facebook Live Intensive, which is worth $197. So $1,197 with the bonuses are up for snagging if you enroll by Friday. So I would love to have you guys. I know this program will make a difference in your business, and I know it will help you to bring your business to the next level. So that's all I have for you guys today. If you have questions, feel free to email me. Feel free to book a clarity call with me. I would love to chat with you. All right. Bye, guys. Have a great day.